This is Michael Wojak with your Our-Town Legislative Rundown. One of the great benefits of serving in public life or just being a part of a community is you do meet some really outstanding people who care deeply about the community and have really good ideas for it. I was delighted just as I was sitting down to record today, I received a call from former Rochester City Council member Sandra Means. Sandra has been a dear friend to me for as long as I've known her, and I really have always appreciated her insight. So I took the opportunity to say, okay, the Minnesota legislature's in session. What do you think the most important issue that they should be tackling this year is? And true to her nature, Sandra thought hard about the question and came up with the answer that really housing affordability, particularly for those who don't make a lot of money, is probably the most important issue that should be addressed. And I think she really hit on something there. So look for a future episode of this to really hone in on some of those housing issues. Transitioning now to the governor's office, this week Governor Walz signed into law the driver's license for all bill, and this will allow undocumented immigrants in the state of Minnesota to get a driver's license. This is aimed at addressing the public safety issue of people operating a motor vehicle without necessarily having demonstrated the ability to do so. It's obviously a controversial topic, but this is now law in the state of Minnesota. Additionally, Governor Walz took executive action this week to protect access to gender-affirming care in the state of Minnesota. This is a little different trend than we're seeing in some other states around the country, and Minnesota appears to be headed in a different direction when it comes to trans rights in the state of Minnesota. This week, a supermajority of House Democrats and Republicans passed a bonding bill, and that will move on to the Senate now, where it does face opposition and may not receive that supermajority level support. Bonding bills do require supermajority support because it involves borrowing money, and one of the consequences of having a large surplus this year is if in fact there's not bipartisan consensus on this bill, it's possible that a similar bonding bill can be put forward using just cash, which would not require that supermajority. HF 1262 has been introduced. What this bill would do is prohibit homeowners associations from preventing individuals from installing solar on top of their own property. This has been an issue in various parts of the country and the state of Minnesota. And of course, we stand to benefit the most here in tropical southern Minnesota. So while your homeowners association could still tell you what color the pants are on your garden gnome, they would not be able to prevent you from installing solar on your home if this became law. Finally this week, if you're anything like me, your eyes might have bulged a little bit the last time you opened your gas heating bill. This is true throughout Minnesota, and House File 2493 has been introduced, which would create supplemental energy assistance for low-income Minnesotans. While it can be an annoyance for some of us, it's also the difference between making ends meet for a lot of Minnesota families. This potentially would provide additional assistance for 18,000 Minnesota households as we transition to new energy sources. This has been Michael Wojak with your Our-Town Legislative Rundown.